Yes, this is a fertile land, and we will thrive. We will rule over this land, and we will call it this land. I think we should call it your grave. Ah! Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal. Ah ha 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 ha! Mine is an evil laugh. Now die! Ah! Ah! Oh, good heavens. Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Professor McBrick. In my last video, I said that we were going to talk today about my Lego collection. But before we do that, I want to talk about what is a collection? What makes a Lego collection different than just a whole bunch of random Lego sets that happen to all be in the same place? It's an interesting question, and one that's more important than you might think. As Professor McBrick might imply, I am a professor, in my day job, and I like to think about things like what makes this thing, and not that thing. So, collections. We're going to talk about the nature of collections, but we're going to do it by looking at some of the new Lego sets I have acquired. So in our last video, we talked about this. This is set number 394. It's the Harley-Davidson 1000cc police motorcycle. This is from 1976. It's 143 pieces, and it's part of the Hobby collection. That's right. Lego, back in 1976, was putting together sets that were designed to be displayed, not played with by adults. So we looked at this last time, right? And I did an unboxing video of it. But since then, I have got two new sets that I want to show you. The first is this one right here. Look at that bad boy. Isn't he cool? This is set number 5510, Off-Road 4x4. It's from 1986, 275 pieces. And this is part of the Model Teams collection. Just like the Hobby sets from the 70s, in the 80s, Lego came out with the Model Teams, which were designed to be displayed. So you can see this, it's got the cool 5510 license plate sticker on the back. Has the working winch in the front. It's got the rack and pinion steering, right, that moves. And it's just all together super cool looking. I love that big windscreen. That is something you don't see every day. It's about 10 studs wide. So you don't see that one all the time. And I just realized I forgot to put one of the yellow pieces right on there. It's in my pocket. I'll put that on in a bit. But this is 5510. And it's, like I said, it's part of the Model Teams. And I am really interested in gathering up all of the Model and Hobby teams. Well, I'll tell you why in a minute. So let me show you my other one that I've gotten recently. This one came from the Netherlands. This one came from Riverside, California. And this is 5540 Formula One Racer. 1986, 437 pieces. So you can look at this. It's got those turbo stickers on the side, the fuel stickers on the back. It's got the one and also the one on the side there. Like the other one, this has rack and pinion steering. I love the way that the rear tires are tripled up like that and doubled up in the front. But what's super cool about this particular set is you can take this off and you have, you have the air intakes and the engine, right? You can see that there's these open holes right here, big old air scoops. So you have, it doesn't function, like the pistons don't move up and down like an auto chassis, but it just looks super duper cool. So we'll put that back on there. Now, like the other sets we've talked about today, this was designed to be displayed. And so that gets me to thinking about the nature of collections. I have a lot of Lego sets. I've lost count. You can go to my Bricklink store and see exactly what I have in my inventory. But again, I've lost count. I have a lot of Star Wars sets. My kids collected a lot of Ninjago and this, that, and the other. I have Classic Space. But none of those collections were assembled with any sort of purpose. Just kind of whatever caught my eye at the time. Like, ooh, that looks neat. I'll buy it. Or, oh, I think my kids would like that. I'll buy it. And what makes this grouping right here, let me put this back together. what makes this grouping different is that I am assembling these on purpose. I love the aesthetic of these older 80s Lego sets, or the 70s in this case. I love that you didn't have round where things are supposed to be round. They were still angular. Uh-oh. Again, displayed, not played with, right? I love that things are a little bit clunky and chunky, and instead of having a single hood piece that fits over here and looks nice, you just have a 2x2 stud, a 2x2 plate, a 4x2 plate, and a 1x6 plate to show the contours of the hood. I like that aesthetic. And so when I'm gathering up these model and these hobby team sets, I'm doing so because there's something that binds them together that interests me. It's not just that they're all Star Wars, that they're all model teams. There's an aesthetic that I am interested in. So I would consider this the beginnings of a collection, as opposed to what we'll look at in my next video, I promise you, the random assembly of Lego sets that I happen to have. Now, there's one exception. In my office at work, not my office here, but my office on campus of my university, I have been collecting space Legos. And I mean like the Mars rovers that come out and things that represent actual spaceships that exist in real life. Lego has occasionally over the years put together like the Discovery models or a space shuttle model or those things. I collect those. And those are bound together by my interest in space. And not so much an aesthetic interest, but my interest in space and this faithful representation of things that actually exist in real life. So, an assembly of Legos, the things I happen to have, the things that caught my eye because I thought it was pretty or what have you, but it doesn't relate to the things around it in any appreciable way other than that it happens to be on my shelf. But a collection is marked by coherence, right? And something that binds it together and something that generates interest in not just looking at this thing, but also in the acquisition process. Because as I'm collecting the model series and the hobby series, I take as much joy in looking for the hot deal right on this one. Ooh, that one's available in Belgium. I wonder if I could get it with the stickers from Germany or, with the stickers in the box from Czechoslovakia. I take as much interest in the collecting, as a verb, the action of acquiring these things as I do in actually looking at them, right? And admiring their beauty. And I think that's what makes a collection distinct, is that there is joy found not only in the possessing, but also in the act of acquiring. Whereas just an accumulation of Legos is exactly what it sounds like. It's a bunch of Lego sets that sit on my shelf, but I wasn't going out of my way to find them. I wasn't particularly interested in finding this set or that set. They just kind of ended up in my garage. So those are my thoughts on collections. I don't know if that was interesting. I'm still figuring out this YouTube thing. The one thing I do know, however, about YouTube is that I'm supposed to tell you to like and subscribe.